Hi, comic book fans. It's a Monday night. It's the price variance, and we are back. And happy New Year to all my viewers and to Alan and all his viewers. If I haven't said that already to you, so we are not doing the hottest Silver Age comics of the week yet. You're going to have to wait another week. We are doing our spec comics for 2025. Yes, each year Alan and I pick five spec comics each that we hope are going to go up in value in the next 12 months. And we have a little competition running to see who can perform the best. Not mentioning any names, but somebody's winning 2-1 after 3 years. So we'll see how it goes this year. We showed the first five of our spec comics on Alan's channel. So if you haven't watched that yet, head over there. And we're going to show the next five here. And as usual, we will review these at the end of the year, even if they're all disasters. And it shows that we know nothing. We will we will do a show at the end of the year reviewing these, like we do every year. Right,
Mhm.
you're the guest, so you can go first. What is your first spec book?
Okay, so I kind of went big with all my specs. If you look at the books that I've been picking, I
Yeah.
kind of went with big books.
Right.
This first one is a big book. It's Adventure Comics number 252.
Ooh, Adventure 252. Now I
The
picked
first,
Adventure 259, which wasn't a big book.
yeah, 252 is the first Supergirl.
Oh, of course, yes. I thought I knew the number. Yeah.
So first Supergirl, the reason I chose her, she's gonna have a movie that's coming out in 2026. Um, I think that's going to really bring back this book. It is one that has actually suffered. There was a TV series that did well, and at while the series was going on, the book actually performed really well. However, it's kind of backed off since then. So I like the combination of those two things. It's sort of a character that not many people are thinking about as much. It's come down a bit, and I think it's bound for a rebound.
I think this is a great pick, Alan. I wish I'd thought of it. So it's Adventure Comics 252. And what grade are you picking, Alan?
I'm picking a 5.0. And the reason I'm picking a 5.0 is I have a 5.0.
Oh, he's the grade he's got. That's brave. Right.
Yeah.
50. So how much did you pay for it, Alan? You paid about 1,000, I reckon.
Yeah, it was about 1,000.
Yeah, so it's currently worth 2.7. So Alan's doing well because he bought his. When did you buy yours, Alan?
Oh, geez, like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know.
Oh, you got a good price.
Mine is mine's restored. Mine's restored.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
It's like the lamest restoration too. It's like a dot. Somebody put a dot on it, and it's like, okay, that's restoration, sure.
Yeah, so this is basically flat for the last so if you
But
take
you can see that there was a kind of a early peak there. That's when the TV series was out.
in 10 years.
Yeah, it's been flat. It's not performed that well
Yeah.
as a book. I think there is like the potential for excitement to be created. Um, this is kind of a spec, not just about, and actually my next three kind of all, my next two also correspond with this. This is not just a spec about this one book. This is a spec about James Gunn
Yeah.
and his vision for DC. I think what'll happen is if James Gunn can do the right stuff, and I'm really putting a lot of faith in the guy. I actually am not that confident about James Gunn in general. Um, if he can do the right stuff, he can bring over the legions of fans that are Marvel people over to DC.
Yeah.
And DC has always been historically undervalued. And even if people kind of just say, "Hey, what's going on at this DC? What is this DC thing that we're hearing all this movie stuff about?" Even if we can just bring a few over, I think they'll realize, "Hey, DC books are undervalued." I mean, this is a major character, and you can pick this book up for, a couple $1,000. Compare that to like the same level in Marvel, and you're talking $10,000. It's like it's just not even comparable. So I think DC books have been underrated, And this is one of the books that I think could bring back some of that attention or bring some new attention because D, I think I've been complaining about this since the 90s. So I don't know. It's about time.
Never
It's going to
know.
happen.
Might be the time it's going to change, Alan.
Yes, so that's why I put it on the list. It's sort of me saying something about DC in general.
And of course, we now know that the bad guy in the movie is going to be Lobo.
Oh, Lobo's the bag? I didn't hear that yet.
Yes, yes. Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo in the Supergirl film.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's the right size, isn't he? He looks the
No,
part.
he looks I think he looks the part. He wants to play the part.
Yeah,
He's been going on about it himself.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it'd be fun.
yeah.
Um, yeah, no, that's a cool one. That'd be actually awesome. I should have put Lobo on the list. But I didn't.
I did think about Lobo on the list, but I didn't go with him in the end.
Yeah. But yeah, this was one I thought this was a good choice.
Yeah, very
So
good
yeah,
choice. I think if the Superman film goes down well, there'll be a lot of hype for the Supergirl film.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're really putting a lot of faith into James Gunn for this
Well,
whole list.
for me, he hasn't put a foot wrong. The Guardians of the Galaxy films were all great.
Yeah. Did you like Creature Commandos? Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it. Can't get it in the UK. It's not being aired in the UK.
So far, I think it's okay. It has a very James Gunny feel to it, though.
Okay, yeah, it's sort of a bit
It,
wacky.
yeah, I almost feel like, oh, this is Suicide Squad with monsters.
Well,
It's
that's
like,
what it is.
yeah, it's okay. It even has like Rick Flag's the original Rick Flag.
Yeah,
It also has Amanda Waller.
yeah.
And then it has like the same situation with the button that they can press, and all of them will freak out if they
No,
get the button.
they're not. That's what they said they were going to do. I mean, it is a Suicide Squad with monsters. Because
Yeah, but it's okay.
she wasn't allowed to use people anymore.
Yes, that's the whole thing. Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, it's interesting.
okay, so my next one is a bit similar to one that you picked in the first round. So you picked Eternals one, which is
Mhm.
I've picked Avengers 8.
I was thinking about it. You know what? I was actually thinking about adding this to the list because we were talking about how crappy this book had performed. I was thinking about it. I was totally thinking about it. So
I,
that's funny.
I jumped and went for it, Alan, because it's just unbelievable. I mean, this is I've gone for the 7.5,
Okay.
and the 90-day average here. Sorry, yeah, the 30-day average of $700. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's lower than it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, that's a good buying opportunity. I mean, King is actually a pretty major character.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I just think that's ridiculously low.
yeah, that shows you how movies can negatively impact a book, actually make people hate the character. But I think it could recover. Yeah. I think this is where if it just recovers to where it should be,
Yeah,
you're gonna win.
yeah.
So yeah, it's not a bad spec.
Yeah, I think people will just, as time goes by, they'll forget the Kang disaster in the TV and movies, and they'll say, "Hang on, this is a major key with a major villain, and it's heavily undervalued now." So
Mhm.
we'll see, we'll see. That's my next pick. It's the one. One of those strange cover with a sort of yellow tennis ball shield.
Yeah, I always thought that shield looked really weird. But but yeah. Actually, I think they actually used it in one of the TV series or something, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
yeah,
yeah, so I'm hoping for a bit of a recovery on that one. I just think it's bottomed out, and surely can't go any lower. Uh,
yeah, it's the early Avengers. It's a key character. It's something that should be, as they always say on Comic Tom, a perpetual key.
Actual key, very good. Yes, I like that.
Mhm.
Okay, so that was my last. Oh, no, it's not my last one. So you're
You
up
got one.
here with your fourth pick. What are you
My
going?
fourth. my fourth pick is one that we both love. And actually, I was doing a list yesterday when we were recording this, yesterday on Friday, where I was talking about the hottest like covers. If
Yeah,
you're gonna buy like the top 100 covers,
yeah.
which would they be? Well,
Yeah.
this would be definitely on that list, I think, for most people. Is House of Secrets number 92?
Alan, do you know what my last pick is?
House of Secrets 92?
House of Secrets 81. So we've got.
But 92, the reason I pick it, it's got double, kind of a couple things going on for it. A few things. Okay. So one, it's an awesome cover. I love this book. I have to say, this is one of my favorite covers of all time. As I said, it's top 100 easily. Um, I think there's talk of doing something with Swamp Thing again. So Swamp Thing could be coming back. So there's that first appearance of Swamp Thing.
James Gunn leaving Swamp Thing alone, can you?
No, so I think there'll be something with Swamp Thing in the future, and some maybe announcements or something this year about that. And I do believe Bronze Age horror is making like I saw this kind of happening last year where you get sort of Bronze Age horror kind of going up in general.
Yeah,
And I feel like this is kind of the pinnacle of that. So as I said, I picked all big books.
yeah.
You'll notice like I
Is
picked big
the,
books.
this is the holy grail of Bronze Age horror, of course.
Exactly. So this book is one that I really, really like. I think it has a lot going for it. And
Of course, the artist of
it still hasn't dropped that much. If you look at the
what
look at the I
grading
picked a grade 6.0, which is a fairly high grade for this book. It's actually a hard book to get in high grade.
black.
It's
Yeah,
actually it's down a little bit, but not compared to some of the ones that we've been looking at. Um,
right. In a 6.0, and what price are we going to use here? The
we'll
30.
use a 30-day average or
Yeah,
something,
and the
whatever.
last sale was the same price, so 1,700.
Okay, so I think that's criminally undervalued for what it is. Um, just such a major character, hard book to get in high grade. If you look at the census, look at the census on this book. It's a high census, but
Yeah, it is 3689. But virtually
yeah,
everybody who's got a copy of this has it had it graded because this has always been a valuable book.
yeah. But compare that to even Silver Age books.
Yeah,
It's actually would be considered one of the lower Marvel level kind of ones.
yeah,
But compared to Bronze Age, usually there's like 10,000, 15,000 on the census. This is a pretty low census count for a Bronze Age book. And it is a major key. So definitely I think it's a good book.
and you've got the master of the Bronze Age horror cover on as the artist, Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie Wrightson, yeah.
Bernie Wrightson on anything, and it adds value to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I continue to buy Bronze Age horror, even though I pick up a load of duplicates because I can always sell them. I had a Whatnot
Mhm.
show on Thursday night, and I had about 40 House of Secrets, House of Mystery, mid to low grade duplicates, and they all sold. Every single.
Yeah. I bet if you have this book, you can sell it.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean this is
definitely
easy sell book.
easy sell. Yeah.
So yeah, so I actually have it in a lower grade, but
Yeah, this is one
I
of the
like.
books I've had for about 30, 40 years. I think this
Mhm.
was the first sort of expensive comic I bought at a comic mart, and probably about 1980 or 1990.
Oh wow,
I remember buying it. It was at UK Comic Art Convention, and it's I've had it graded. Mine's a 7, something like that. Sevens?
wow,
Hang on, I might be wrong. Let me have a look. 7.0. Yeah, I've had it graded 7.0. Um, and I paid 50 quid for it back in the day. And that
wow.
was a lot of money for me back in the 1980s.
That's a lot of money back then, but It's cheap now. That would be steal.
I
Wow, awesome.
bought when I bought it because slabbing didn't exist, and I had
Yeah.
it slabbed a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Great book. Yeah, congrats. I'll trade you. Um, mine's like a 3 or something like that, like, and restored.
It was one of the first comics I ever got graded as well.
Oh wow. I really love this book, by the way. It's a great book.
Yeah,
Um,
so,
I'd actually like to replace my copy at some point where I can upgrade it, but I'll do that later. Probably, yeah, my spec will ruin it, but now it's going to be super valuable and I won't be able to afford
well,
the
what
book
you
I want.
want to see, Alan, is you to put your money where your mouth is. So you know, you should go off and buy a 6.0.
Yeah, well, 1700 is a bit much for me.
Well, if you take your 3.0 with you, you might be able to get a decent trade.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's
Right. Okay. Good pick. Now then, we're sticking with Bronze Age horror. I had to have a Bronze Age horror on my list.
okay.
Was tempted by House of Secrets, but thank goodness I didn't go for it. I would say
Mhm.
this is the second biggest grail of Bronze Age horror.
I've
Uh,
been trying to pick this book up, by the way.
have you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really great. So, for those of you who don't know, this is the first appearance of the house. This is the first
Abel.
horror anthology, House of Secrets. So we get the introduction of Abel. It's not his first appearance, it's his second appearance. But we get this great cover by the second best Bronze Age horror artist, Neil Adams. So this is a Neil Adams cover.
Mhm.
And you get this house with eyes and a mouth and arms and two innocent kids, which is the sort of typical meme for the Bronze Age horror. So, yeah, I think this is a great comic. I'm picking a 9.4. I can't pick a 9.8 because there aren't any.
Wow.
9.4 is the highest grade there is of this. Um,
It looks like it just shot up recently, by the way.
well, so hang on. Here we go. This is the 9.4.
Oh, actually, okay.
Yeah, so it has had a big little peak there. So I'm going to take the last sale here because there's no averages because there aren't that many of them. There's only seven at 9.4. So this is a bit of a risk because none have sold since 2020.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so I'm banking on somebody selling one of these seven people here selling their 9.4 or a new point 9.4 coming to market. You can see how
Wow.
rare this is. If we look at the census of this, it's a bit lower than your one, Alan.
I can imagine it's a lot lower. Wow,
100,
140?
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Uh,
Um,
and your 6.0 for your one was 1,700. Here you can get the highest graded copy for $1,100. I think this has got a long way to go. Um, so and we've had some recent big prices on Bronze Age horrors. I think we had a record or two in the last couple of weeks, didn't we?
yeah, that's why I was saying it. Bronze Age horror has been performing quite well. I think there is a shift towards it. So yeah, definitely. This is a good one.
It's not as big as House of Secrets 92, but I think it's more undervalued. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting choice. Very interesting choice.
right. So
I've
let's
been actually trying to find a copy of it, so I'll have to try to pick up before we actually air this list because
yeah. Good luck in finding a 9.4, by the way.
I'm not gonna pick up a 9.4, but I'll pick up a reasonable grade. Very nice. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
on to your final selection, Alan.
My final selection is DC Comics Presents number 47.
Now, that is a key because I recognize
Yes.
that.
But do you remember what the key is?
Remember the,
Can you master your sense of the
is it the one
keys?
with Superman in green? There's a sort of greeny cover with Superman on it.
Superman is on it actually,
Yes.
but
I think I know that. I know I can visualize it in my mind, but I can't remember what. Is it the first? Is it something to do with Teen Titans? No.
no, I gave you a hint there actually. I said, can you master your sense of the keys?
No. Um,
Okay. Okay. Well, that was I was being kind of very open thing there, very suggestive.
Faster.
It's the first appearance of Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so and He-Man
Oh, it's not the
being the
one I was thinking of. It's not the one.
no, yeah. Okay, so it's but this is a major key, and if you look at the graph on this book, it is horrible.
Which
Um,
grade are you going for, Alan?
I'm going with a 9.8.
Okay. There is one
I'm
nine,
going big.
but it's never sold.
Oh, really? I went with just the highest grade.
Oh, yeah. It is horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Why have you gone with this, Alan?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a couple things. So this book I know has performed horribly because of what's his name? The guy from Clerks and all those shows.
Oh, the guy who did they did this
Smith.
woke
Is it
version.
Smith?
Did they do a woke cartoon version?
They did a woke cartoon of it and it was horrible. Horrible. I was almost in tears afterwards,
I really,
okay?
yeah,
I was so upset by it, okay?
yeah.
And if you look at the graph, you can see how everyone else felt about it as well.
Same. Yeah.
Uh, it was really, really bad. So, why? Why did they do that? They kill him off in the very first episode. So the main reason people are going to watch a show, a series, and you killed off your main character, and they killed off the main baddie too.
Well, they killed off HeMan and Skeletor in episode one.
Yes, it's like, what is this now? What are we looking at here? This is not He-Man. This is not. This is like, what is this? So
It's the pronouns of the universe.
yes, so it was terrible. Okay. However, people were excited about the whole idea of like people are very nostalgic to this book.
Yeah,
Like
people
this is
loads of fans of Masters of the Universe who are
no, I remember running home from school and watching He-Man when I was a kid, and He-Man and like all that stuff. It was a thing. Okay,
yeah.
just like when I was in elementary school. Um, this was a big book, and it showed that within the nostalgia thing. It's also a book where they're going to try to make another movie. I think it's we I think the movie theater the movie companies are kind of realizing that they can't go woke because it will make them go broke. So they will try to make a good movie. I really do think that they can make a good movie on this one.
Who owns
Uh,
Masters of the Universe?
it's 2026.
Yeah, who's what production company?
I have no idea. There's no official. So here's a couple things going for it. That's why this is a good spec. There's no official announcement yet. There's rumors that it's going to come out in 2026.
Right. Okay. So this is by the rumor.
By the rumor
So
and by like a rumor that's really like like not even people even a whisper of this rumor is not even heard. Okay. So the point is, this is a book where I think there will be an announcement because if it's coming out in 2026, there will be an announcement sometime this year.
yeah, yeah.
That will create hype, just enough hype to bring this book back from the like the I don't know, it's subterranean right now. It's below the floor. So I think this book has a lot of room to recover. So
Okay.
I picked a 9.8, which is the highest grade,
So
and I think
right, Alan, I'm going to be kind to you, and I'm going to
okay,
have that price there, which is the lowest that the last sale price, 1050.
how much was it?
One,
1,005.
yeah, 1050.
Okay. So yeah, so 1,050. Okay. So yeah, I think this is criminally underrated and undervalued, so that's my choice.
Yes, well, it's still
As
above,
I said, I picked really interesting ones.
what it was pre-COVID, Alan.
Is it above pre-COVID?
Yeah, it is above pre-COVID. Yeah,
Oh, people still love it.
yeah, it's significantly above pre-COVID actually. In fact, it's one of those that if you draw a trend line here, it's got a reasonable trend line up. So that in fact, if you probably, even if you just follow a trend line, you're going to be all right.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, I mentioned it earlier, the perpetual keys. This is the perpetual key. People love this book.
Yeah.
This is one that, and what I've noticed, with all these things where there is like a potential movie in the future is the comic book producers will like they'll kind of bring it back like they'll like they'll have like some Marvel or I'm not sure who owns the rights right now. It's either DC or Marvel, one of the two, because they both had their own versions of He-Man. But what they'll do if there's a movie coming up, they will release some comics, oh, the first new series of the character, right?
Yeah.
So I think that in itself will bring back this book as well. So there's a bunch of things I think that kind of will inspire this one to go up.
I think you're on a safe bet with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully I picked all interesting ones.
Yeah.
Um, what is your last one?
No, I've done I've done three on your channel, two on this channel. That was my
Oh,
last
okay. Oh, okay. So we're done. Okay,
one
cool.
done. So there you go. If you watch Alan's channel, you watch this, you will have all 10 of our spec comics for 2025. If you go out and buy them all, it'll cost you quite a lot of money.
Because of me, I was an expensive date tonight.
The most expensive one being the Fantastic Four issue 5 in a 4.0, which will cost you $7,000.
Hmm.
My picks are slightly cheaper than Alan's, but yeah. So you probably need to have about $15,000 if you want to go and buy all our spec comics.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah. You know, all of this is just for fun, entertainment purposes. What other legalities we have to say? Um, this is not financial advice.
Comics can go down as well as up, as you
Yeah.
know. If you
We
watch
got
the week, you will know comics can go down as well as up.
Yeah, so putting all the caveats on this so that we don't get sued in the future. These are the
When you
specs that
don't
I
go
think.
out and spend $15,000, Alan, and then it's worth 10,000 at the end of the year, they'll get us. So
Yeah, exactly. So
uh,
hopefully the ones I chose are good and hopefully the ones you chose are good and we'll keep our track record going. I think
yeah.
that's the goal.
I think this could be it could be if this year does turn round, this could be our biggest win year, I think, because we've
Hmm.
both picked some big comics this time. So yeah, high risk, high stakes stuff. Okay, that's your lot. We will see you next week, and we will be back to doing the hottest Silver Age comics of the week, won't we, Alan? Yes.
Hope so.
Right. That's your lot. See you again soon.